going to give your vantage point here on this controversial story about the drones off the eastern seaboard. Some time here, okay? We're going to play cut 120. This is John Kirby saying, hey, you know what? We were unable to corroborate these reports. Actually, a lot of them are lawful, manned aircraft. 120.
We have not been able to, and neither have state or local law enforcement authorities, corroborate any of the reported visual sightings. To the contrary, upon review of available imagery, it appears that many of the reported sightings are actually manned aircraft that are being operated lawfully. The United States Coast Guard is providing support to the state of New Jersey and has confirmed that there is no evidence of any foreign-based involvement from coastal vessels. And importantly, there are no reported or confirmed drone sightings in any restricted airspace.
All right, so that's John Kirby, spokesman. But here's the thing, Blake. I mean, you got to consider the source. On the one hand, I'd like to say, well, that's our government source, so we should trust it more. Sad reality of our current moment, that doesn't carry a lot of weight with a lot of people, all right? And I think this is a fact. The government either knows or they don't know, and that's the real story. That if they don't know, that's an indictment of the $1 trillion we spend on military every year, or they do know and they're not telling us, which is sort of like, why are you doing something you're not telling us?
I guess I don't see something terribly mysterious. He said, guys, first of all, a lot of those are obviously planes, which I don't disagree with. I think they're obviously planes. And then he's saying he's saying the stuff we would have that would corroborate the reports from the public, which is, we have the Coast Guard. Is the Coast Guard finding any evidence of drones, coming in from the ocean that would go back to that mothership? No, he says they haven't seen this. Do we have commercial pilots supporting, like, whoa, there's a ton of planes in the air that aren't on our, air traffic control. They're not supposed to be here. Apparently, no, we haven't had commercial pilots saying that. Do we have reports of them actually going into the restricted airspace around military facilities and so forth? No, we don't. Like, I think the Pentagon is they're actually trying to, play easy with people where, maybe if this was 2020 and they were maximally arrogant, they would just say, these are conspiracy theories and disinformation that is being promoted by disinformation actors, including Russia, on social media. Like, they're not doing that. They're just sort of saying, guys, calm down. It's not as bad as people are reporting. And I think,
all right,
I think that's okay as far as such things go. Would we like to know more? Probably, but
you made a good point in the break in our chat. You said one of the problems is there's a lot of clips on the internet. There's a lot of clips going around, and it's hard to sort of track which claims are connected to which clips, right? So that's a fair point. But a lot of eyewitness, and I was just reading in CNN, I was reading in Bloomberg, a lot of eyewitness accounts of these drones report that they are doing maneuvers that manned drones or that manned aircraft simply cannot do. Right? They're zigzagging. They're going from a 90-degree angle to a 270. They're the size of a SUV doing this, and they've got flashing lights all over. So that, I would say, is suspicious. And the fact that there's multiple sightings over a course of weeks. I mean, I saw this story bubbling up a couple weeks ago. It's only now hitting a fever pitch because the U.S. government is saying, we don't know what it is. Or, in Kirby's case, we know that these are manned flights. But again, that doesn't comport with eyewitness testimony.
That's true, but again, I would encourage people to think about how sort of a popular panic can take place, where it's like Havana syndrome. I like to make fun of Havana syndrome. That's where you had the CIA guys who were in Havana when we reopened the embassy there, or reopened the office there, I guess. And so we had those guys there, and one of them's like, I've got a weird headache. Could it be like a weapon used by the Cubans? And suddenly everyone was getting sick, and you had State Department officials who thought they were being shot by like a heat ray in the DC suburbs because their deputy undersecretary of something stupid was clearly super important for Russia to attack. And you started getting reports from all around the world for this. And it happened because people started talking about it and wildly speculating. And so I think the simplest explanation here is someone says, I think I saw something weird in the sky. So now tons of people are looking at the sky. And if you're looking at the sky when you normally don't and trying to find something weird when you're normally not, And there are, in fact, lots of planes and lots of drones in northern New Jersey. It's a densely populated, wealthy place with lots of stuff in the air. You're going to see stuff. Like, I've seen stuff in the sky over Phoenix that I thought looked a little weird, like hovering lights, and they just were suspended there. And rationally speaking, I think it was probably just planes or maybe a satellite or something. That is what I think it will turn out to be here. But famous last words. Maybe I'll look stupid.